This is a critical health issue that you need to address with any kid you have who's 2 years old and older. Please watch this video through. I'm going to discuss drug use some, so you might want to watch it first without your kids. I'm not going to get real graphic or anything. I'm mostly focusing on the safety of your kids. This is probably a health issue, or maybe a health issue you haven't thought of, depending on where you live and your background. It's something that I didn't address fully until recently with my kids. I'll get straight to the point. There's a lot of people who are using IV drugs and they're dropping needles, and this is a huge problem around the world, but it's definitely a huge problem in the US right now, and your kid is at risk for coming in contact with these needles. So in this video I'm going to just simply make a case for why you need to educate your kids about it, the risk, and then I'm just going to show you some syringes, what they look like. If you want to show your kids that part of the video, that part's going to be pretty kid friendly. That'll be right at the end. So here's the case, okay? There's a lot of people who have diabetes who use syringes. Most of them are very conscientious and disposing of their needles. You're never going to see their needles. They put them in a sharps container, drop them in a hard bleach bottle, they throw them in the trash. But there's a lot of people who are using them for illicit reasons in this country right now. And unfortunately, two things. That population, I have no disdain for them, a lot of compassion, but one, many times they're disposing of their needles when they're impaired, and two, so they may just drop them anywhere, and two, they also are a high-risk population just by the numbers for carrying bloodborne diseases that can be devastating or deadly. And so if you find a syringe anywhere, it's likely to be from an IV drug user, likely to be a high-use syringe. So the reason that you need to address this with your kids is because even if you live in a rural area, even if you live way out in the country, your kids could come in contact with these. They may come in contact with them in a public place. You might think of like a public bathroom or a sidewalk or by a gas station, but they could actually come in contact with a needle, find a needle or a syringe in your front yard. If you live by a road that there's any public traffic on, someone can cruise by, throw it out their window. It could land in your front yard, in your lawn, inside your fence, or it could land inside the fence of a daycare or even a school. So it's really critical that we address this issue with any kid who's ever out of our line of sight, even inside a fenced yard, even for a few seconds, because kids are curious. That's one of the wonderful things about them. If they see something they've never seen, they're likely to pick it up. So you can address this like, hey, don't ever pick up trash you find, and that's good, but I would highly suggest you take it to the next level and give them a visual identification. Hey, this is what this looks like. You should never touch this. Always get me. And that's the point of this video. That's why I'm making it. I know this is not a health channel, but I'm a nurse, and this is an issue that's come to my attention recently. There was a kid actually in our area who recently picked up a syringe and was stuck by it. And it's really, I think that's really just a lack of awareness of parents that we need to address this, because you don't think about it. You think, oh, your kids are going to be safe. You don't imagine it, but I'll tell you, the likelihood that your kid is going to come in contact or see a dirty needle on the side of the road or on a sidewalk or in your yard, before they're a teenager is very high. So I just think that everyone should address this with their kids, and I think it could potentially save a lot of heartache and a lot of trouble, and keep your kids safe. So this is going to be a short video. I'm going to show you a few things that if you find them, you should never touch them. I have a collection of syringes here. This one was used actually to give a cow or a goat an iron shot. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Now, you might ask, why am I touching these? And the answer is because these are clean needles, except this one was used on a cow, so it'll get bleached and cleaned. But I'm touching them because I'm a nurse, and I know these are clean needles. These two are brand new, and this one was used on one goat or a cow. I can't remember. So I'm going to show you right here. There's a cap on here, and there is a needle right here. And these needles, guys, are so sharp. If you ever find anything that looks like this, you should not touch it, because it can poke you. If you even touch it, it can poke you. And it's sharper than probably anything you've ever held before or seen before. And this is something that we give medicine with, but if you touch it, it can make you really, really sick. I'm going to show you another one here. This is not likely to be what you'll see, but it could look like this, it could look like this, it could look like this. This is a blunt needle. The most common one that you'll see looks just like this. And this is an insulin syringe, but it has a very, very sharp needle on it, and if you ever see anything like this, you should never pick it up. You should always get your parents or get an adult and show it to them. Never bring it to them. Just if you see it, immediately tell all the other kids around, say, don't touch this, stay away from it, that can hurt you, and get an adult as fast as you can. Never pick it up and bring it to your parents. Never pick it up and bring it to an adult. Just show it to them on the ground, and then they can take care of it in a safe way. I'm going to take the cap off this syringe here and show you. It could also look like this, just laying on the ground. And it has a very pointed needle on it. It's so sharp, this will go straight into you if you touch it. And a needle like this can make you extremely sick for the rest of your life. So you don't want that. So if you ever see anything like this laying on the ground, just don't touch it. This is the most likely one that you'll see. Sometimes they'll have an orange cap on them like that. And sometimes they'll just look like this, and it could also be pulled out and look like that. But they all look kind of the same. They have little numbers and lines on them, and they're clear tubes. If you ever see anything like this, don't touch it. I promise. They're very dangerous. Okay, guys, that was my video. I hope you'll share this with your kids. Maybe not the video, but at least share some images. Or if you know someone who has diabetes and has syringes, just show your kids and say, look guys, this is something you should never touch. Thanks for listening, guys, and I appreciate your patience with the variety of content we have on our channel. Okay, you have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.